Well, everybody on the ground. That's right, we're back with some old WW letter that comes after E Smackdown, specifically the August 26th, 1999 review episode, whatever, you get what I'm saying. So a little reference, I think I said the last one was the pilot. This technically is episode 1. The other one was like episode like 0.5 or something like that, because they recorded that episode just to kind of like show people, hey, this is what it would be like, you know, the thing you show like sponsors and whatnot. This is the official like kicker off for Smackdown. Start off with a recap specifically of SummerSlam. What year were we in? 1999? Yeah. So just to give you a heads up, eventually all these shows that are mentioned, like Royal Rumble 93 for the old Raw, SummerSlam 99 for this, and a bunch of others to come, I will review them. But with that being said, right now, off the top of my head, I got like 10 different reviews, ignoring the regular routine ones. So give me some time and they'll come out. But yeah, give you a little rundown of that, because again, it's going to be some time before it comes out. Triple H cheated to win the title at SummerSlam. He had, I think, he either had a rematch because he was in the triple threat, or he had a one-on-one match against Mankind. And on Raw, he cheated against Mankind because he hit Mankind with the chair, or China did. Somebody hit Mankind in the leg with a chair, and that of course helped him cheat to win. Then we get the intro and the opening pyro, so you know we're in for a party tonight. We're in Kansas City for tonight's show. I wish I knew what state Kansas City was in. But anyway, JR and King are on commentary, so again, you know this is a bopper. Start off the show with Corporation Titantron Triple H, but it has My Time playing. I don't know if this was a network edit and they just didn't pay money for higher brain power, or if this is like the slow evolution into like My Time Triple H. I don't know. But anyway, another note to kind of mention, this is after the Raw where Triple H breaks JR's arm and they add the sound effect over on all the replays. Tripp says tonight that he has 4 words, not 2, for the crowd, and it's I am the World Wrestling Federation Champion. So close. That's 7 words, but you know what? It's all good. I got what you meant, man. We then see The Rock looking on as Triple H talks from a little TV backstage. He being Triple H, calls out any corporation schmucks who said that he couldn't win it, and that he is the champ and he is the game. He calls out Stone Cold and Mankind, who he beat 2 nights in a row thanks to help, but he makes it seem like he did it on his own type of deal. By the way, the whole time that he's talking, he sounds like he's got like a sore throat or something. Just something I noticed. Speaking of sore throats, if you give me just 1 second. Just some notes from the promo. He calls The Rock the people's ass. That cues The Rock to come out after he keeps on antagonizing him like that. The Rock calls him a jabroni and hypes up how this is The Rock's show, the people's show, and he shouldn't run his mouth about being a champion. If he's fake champion, he needs to if he's the game, he needs to get back to the drawing board because his game sucks. Ooh. He issues a challenge later on tonight for that title, which Triple H says that The Rock is a jabroni and that he is nowhere near his league and needs to get lost. The Rock threatens to take that title from him and shove it up his ass, and there's 2 things that he can do about it. Absolutely nothing and like it. I think that was one of The Rock's catchphrases that he was trying to get over, but he never did get over. But I'm going to steal that if I ever, become a wrestler. Triple H says that The Rock can't even hold his jock, and he cuts him off when he says that. The Rock tells him that he wasn't done talking and that he needs to know his role and shut his mouth. By the way, autocorrect just made me say shit his mouth, so I kind of like that better. The third option is to listen to the fans chant his name. They start chanting, Rocky, Rocky, unless it was piped in, you know. And as he walks down the ramp, takes his shoe off and sticks it straight up his candy ass. Before they could even do anything like brawl or whatever, Commissioner HBK comes out, gets a huge old pop. As soon as they make this main event, by the way, I said, oh yeah, it's this episode. HBK says that it's official. They'll face each other for the title in the main event of this show, but they need a fair referee to call it right down the middle. And then he says, I know exactly the referee that can be, and that's going to be me. It's going to be me. How appropriate. Anyway, as he's trying to walk back, Shane comes out and says that if he wants to make that a match, then as the owner of the WW letter that comes after E, he's going to also appoint himself as a special guest referee to keep his eye on HBK. Shawn says that there's a problem with that because Shane had a match at SummerSlam, which means he's an active wrestler now. So since he's an active wrestler, Shawn made a match for him later on tonight against the man that he screwed out of the title last Monday, which, by the way, that's Mankind. Mankind's music plays. He comes out to say that he's excited with all this talk of screwing and something else. And he's going to unbutton his shirt, loosen his free tie down, walk down the people's aisle while the dozens of Mankind's fans chant his name. Everybody ends up running in the ring. We get a big old brawl. The Mean Street Posse tries to come out to help Shane, but they end up taking 2 rock bottoms as Mankind and The Rock stands tall. Commentary then runs down the show as they try to get a hold of things in the ring again. Then we go backstage where the Cat and Deborah are with Double J, and then we see Mr. Ass coming out to the ring, which means after the break, they're going to have a non-titles match. By the way, this is apparently last Raw or something like that. Chyna signed up for an IC title match, and Billy helped her out because I think one of the girls were trying to hand Jeff the guitar to hit Chyna, but Billy comes out to help him. Or, excuse me, Billy comes out to help her. Force of habit, sorry. But yeah, they have the match. Chyna comes down during the match, and Miss Kitty tries to give Jeff the guitar, but Chyna ends up taking it and tries to hit her, but she ends up hitting Deborah instead with it, and Billy rolls up Double J during the distraction for the win. Chyna then gets in the ring and low blows Mr. Ass as we all walk away. Lillian Garcia interviews Al Snow about the Boss Men having Pepper, and I forgot that it was during this storyline. Oh no. But anyway, Pepper and Boss Man might show up later on tonight. Al Snow begs Boss Man just to give Pepper, his dog, back to him, please, and don't do anything that either one of them will regret. We then see the Mr. Howard Finkel backstage polishing Jericho's boots as Jericho berates him. After that, Tess is backstage waiting for Stephanie's arrival for his marriage proposal that he gave last Monday on Raw. A lot of historic stuff happens during this little time period. It's crazy to think about how short the Attitude Era is, but how many very, again, historic things just happened during this time. Speaking of one of those things, before we get the answer to that, Kane and X-Pac come out. They got a scuffed remix of Kane's theme at the beginning and transitions into DX. It's weird, but they go against the Acolytes pre-APA and the tag team champions of The Big Show and The Undertaker, aka the Unholy Alliance, who also have a scuffed version of The Big Show's theme and The Undertaker's together. It's weird. Taker doesn't wrestle for this match, though. He gets on commentary so the match is going on and talks about how this is Big Show's test because he did terrible at SummerSlam. Yeah, this match breaks down real fast in true Attitude Era style and lasts about 5 minutes, just like a bunch of other matches tonight. The ending is the Big Show wins with a chokeslam on X-Pac, and The Undertaker comes in the ring to take his title. We go backstage after that, where Tess is awaiting the arrival for Stephanie still, and then she comes out of nowhere. She's not in a limo. She just pops up and says, "Hey, Tess." They said something, honestly, minus that, just to make them seem like a happy little couple, but honestly, I couldn't hear it. They had the audio levels weird. Big Boss Man comes out and cuts a promo about Al Snow. He's cuts it on him looking for him, and then he needs to get off his butt and get down to the ring if he's looking for him because he's got something of Al's. Al comes out and begs him to tell him where Pepper is, and Bossman says to stay right where he is, that Pepper is safe for now, but if he gets any closer, then that little hawk, and if that dog bites him, then that little SOB is going straight to hell. If he wants the dog back, he needs to get the hardcore title and come to the ring for the match, and he better have it when he gets back to the ring. Now, you see, me personally, I thought this was during the 24/7 time period, so I was like, oh, that'd be cool. They could give a couple people a little bit more extra, like, screen time. We could see Al Snow backstage going for the hardcore title, and then, like, people try to pin him for it, and then ultimately it still makes its way back to Al Snow, and then we get the one-on-one match where it's fast, but that doesn't happen. Because Al Snow, after a commercial break, Al Snow comes out to the ring with the title. Bossman comes back out. We get the hardcore title match. I don't know if it's a bit or real, but Pepper ends up peeing on the King twice. Yeah, they just beat the shit out of each other with weapons, a lot of headshots. This is a pre-CTE world. Bossman ends up winning thanks to Pepper distracting Al Snow as he had the advantage. Al goes for some reason to take Pepper instead of winning the match, but a nightstick goes across his head. Bossman wins with a pin, and then Bossman said that Al could have this regardless, but he's not a man of his word. He ends up taking Pepper and going to the back. X-Pac is seen backstage arguing with Kane about that about that loss. Then we see in a separate bit, Jericho's walking to the ring, and Al Snow finally comes to it in the ring, so that was 3 separate shots, and he runs after Bossman backstage. When we come back from the ad, we see Triple H and The Rock getting ready, but Al Snow is furious. He's trying to look for Bossman, but he's already left. I'm gonna level with you. This show's so chaotic. This took like 3 different sittings, so I think this was the finish of sitting 1 to like actually watch this show. Road Dogg comes out and he gets a huge ass pop. He has a match against Jericho, which if you played WWE 13, you know how this one goes. Before the match, the roadie makes some noise to get the crowd hype. He does his normal, like, "Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all age" thing, but he's not with the New Age Outlaws at this point, so he just does a thing on himself. That sounds weird. But yeah, we get into the match. This is the wrestling debut on Smackdown. I forgot what show we're doing for Chris Jericho. He attacks Road Dogg on Monday due to the Road Dogg wanted to beat up the Fink for believing in Chris Jericho. That's what led into this match. They have a solid match until Jericho cheats by powerbombing the Dog through a table that he set up for the DQ win. He then locks on the walls of Jericho because the whole theme of this match was like he's working on Road Dogg's ribs. He locks on the walls as referees come out to try to pull him off, but he keeps it just locked in. When we come to the back, they show the replay of that, and then Jericho and Fink are backstage talking while Tony Schimmel is in the ring. Jericho hypes up the Fink, saying that he should prove to him why he's the best and Fink can get his job back, and he believes in the Fink, tells him to go to the ring and attack him. Back at ringside, Tony is calling somebody out, but the Fink comes out and he has the Ultimate Warrior theme. He does like the whole run, the rope shake thing. It's sad but funny. He shoves Tony Schimmel over and takes the mic and tries to do a ring introduction, but they get into a fight until Tony takes back the mic, dusts off his blazer, and he tries to do an announcement. Jericho comes out in the meantime to check on the Fink. He's taking him backstage. As he does, Ken Shamrock comes out, and the Fink goes off on Shamrock, starts pointing at him and shoving him, and then Shamrock grabs his finger and threatens to snap it. As that's happening, Jericho comes up behind him and hits him over the back with a chair. He grabs the Fink, and then both of them leave. Shamrock runs after them as commentary talks, and Stephanie McMahon, pre-Helmsley era, comes to the ring and asks Andrew to come out there. Commentary's like, "Andrew? Who's that?" Yeah, it's Test's real name. Test comes out. He's got the best theme ever. You could tell he's already losing momentum at this point. He's about to get Triple H buried, but that's alright. The things you'll do for love, right? Alright. After that, she says that she wanted things to be right, and she's taken time to think it over. And he said, "Oh, you wanted things to be right? Well, let me try this properly." He proposes to her the right way, and she says yes. They celebrate, whatever. As they're celebrating, the Mean Street Posse come out while Shane pins his sister in the corner so she can't do anything to get him off. They beat down Test for a bit until Mankind comes out with a chair, beats up anybody not named McMahon. He leaves the ring, and then Mankind tells him to leave those two alone. He said that this is his second time walking down that ramp, and he's not doing it again. They're having their match right now between him and Shane. He drops the chair down and says that Shane has one free shot, and it better be a good one. He turns his back and walks away from him. Shane gets in the ring as a coward and tries to hit him in the back, but Mankind no-sells it, pops up. Shane tries to run from Mankind, but Mankind's on his tail. He beats him around the arena, rolls him back into the ring, and that's the point where the posse wakes up from that beatdown, goes to beat down Mankind. At that point, Test comes out somewhere. I don't remember if he went backstage or if he's just been here the whole time since that proposal beatdown. But anyway, he beats down the posse. This is crazy thing going on. They go through the crowd to go to the back. Shane and Mankind are fighting in the ring. And during that beatdown, even Stephanie got a shot in, which made me pop a little bit. But yeah, Shane's winning this beatdown for a little bit, but Mankind gets the advantage, and he gets Mr. Socko out and hits the mandible claw and almost wins until Chyna and Triple H come out. Chyna distracts the referee, and Triple H hits him in the leg with the chair because he was near the ropes, so it worked out. And then Shane pins him to win. Peak Attitude Era chaos at its finest. I kind of dig it, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, during this time, well, maybe not obviously, I don't know if I've said my age demographic, but let's just say during the year 1999, I was alive but not old enough to remember anything, so I never got to enjoy this version of the Attitude Era too much, but I've always liked rewatch things to understand the chaos of it all. So it's cool just seeing this for the first time again for the first time. It was cool. After that, we go backstage where the Fink's trying to get into Jericho's car, but the door is locked. Now, this isn't like modern cars to where like you just pop the lock and in 0.1 second you could hop in and run away. No, this is like it took at least a minute. So Shamrock catches up with them. He's literally on the cusp of Jericho's car, so Jericho zooms off away without the Fink. Shamrock threatens the Fink until he smells that Fink shat himself, so he throws him down on the ground, and that's how that segment ends in true Vince McMahon humor. We then come back from an ad. They replay SummerSlam again. Eventually, you may or may not get that review on this channel. And they show what happened between Austin and Triple H. By the way, just to give you a heads up, my second sit-down ended right before the interview between Austin and Triple H. So this is the final sit down for watching it. Earlier on in the day, Austin had a sit down interview with Michael Cole, who was asked about the attack where he suffered a bunch of tears and ligaments in his knee apparently. Austin clarified that he had the tears prior to the chair shots, but so he'll be out for a little bit, but Triple H has hell to pay when he comes back. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. That was a terrible impersonation. Michael Cole talks about how Triple H speculates that when he returns, Austin won't be the same. Austin said that's up to me to decide, not that dumb son of a bitch. Michael Cole asked him about the mean streak that Triple H has had recently, citing that he took a page out of Austin's playbook for it. Austin says he knows what it takes to be mean to get to the top, but that son of a bitch ain't read my whole playbook, and that's all I gotta say about that. After that, again, in true Attitude Era fashion, we have a 3-minute evening gown match between Tori and Ivy, where Tori's the winner. They have a brawl afterwards until Luna pulls Tori off and holds her back. Alright, yeah. Lillian Garcia then interviews Triple H about how The Rock says that this is his show and that's going to be his title. Chyna says that she better show the champ some respect. She intimidates her and takes the mic from her, then hands it to Triple H. Triple H says that he wants to make things clear that he will retain his title, and as for HBK, if he doesn't call it down the middle, Triple H will make sure that he never walks again. After that, we see The Rock walking to the ring. Try to say that statement on your own. It sounds like a tongue twister. But before that, main event happens. We see Al Snow looking for Pepper when we come back, and Stephanie and Tess are congratulated by Michael Cole, Baby Hebner, and like one other person I forgot about. But yeah, they just congratulate them on the wedding. And then we go to the main event. Everybody comes out. Triple H has like chain metal torso armor on, which he's had since SummerSlam. That was wild. I forgot about that little era. They brawl all over the arena, and then when it ends, Shane ends up taking some type of move that bumps him off the rope, so he's knocked out for a second. Triple H hits a rock bottom, and The Rock tries for a people's elbow. He bounces off of one rope, and then when he jumps over and bounces off the other rope, Shawn ends up sweet chin musicking him, which, by the way, I don't think it had a name at this point, because commentary says, he just super kicked him. After that, Triple H gets up, pedigrees him as Shawn's sitting in the corner, and that's how he ends up retaining his title. As he's celebrating, Chyna comes back to the ring because she ended up getting ejected or something like that. They show a replay as Shane, Chyna, Triple H, they all end up and Shawn, my bad. They all end up walking backstage together. And that's how we end this show. So, a couple comments towards the show as a whole. I think the way that they ended this is definitely a good way back in the, like, I don't even know what to call this. I guess like the TV era, where now it's like the streaming era and whatnot. This is definitely a good way to be like, I have to watch next week's show to see how Triple H ends up losing this title, blah, blah, blah. So they definitely did a good job at retaining people's attention and making things spicy for this show, so that way, like, people would tune in. I hate the treatment of women during the Attitude Era. I always will. Never won't. But also, like, I guess it's the times or whatever. Can't wait till 2015 kicks around so we can actually have a legit women's match, minus like the one-offs here and there. Let's see. As for that main event, it's very main eventy. This is like how 90% of the Attitude Era's main events will go. Either that or The Undertaker will get involved somehow, because there's like 5 people in the main event scene. I do appreciate that they tried to get everybody on at least, but I can't wait until we get to the hardcore scene where they get everybody on just fighting for that title, and everybody gets the title then loses it. Anyway, that's the review for tonight. Normally these be in podcast formats, but like I said for my previous review, technical difficulties have arose backstage to where I can't watch Max right now. So it might be next week, might be the previous week, might be 3 weeks away, whatever. But the podcast will be back. That's not just a one and done. I'm just uploading these so there's content out. Y'all can listen to my lovely little reviews / breakdowns of the whole episodes. And you know what? Yeah. I didn't really have anywhere to go with that. Sorry. So, yeah. Today's Thursday. I'm going to try to always do OG Smackdown reviews on Thursday till they transition to Friday. As for Friday itself, I'm going to try, emphasis on try, to get current day Smackdowns up on there. I saw a lot of 2025's episodes have been posted, so I'll start from there, and then we'll see what the world brings us. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow for Smackdown again. Well, not this Smackdown, but like, you get what I'm saying. Bye!